Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It feels really weird saying that. It's a little bit unnatural for me. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's just everybody seems to say it. Anyway, since we are coming up on the end of 2019, and this is the first year that I have really dove into creative journaling a little bit more, I kind of wanted to share what I've done and what I plan to do for 2020. And can I just say, I cannot believe we're at the end of 2019. This is just nuts. Anyway, so this year is the first year of my life that I have drawn a tarot card every single day. It is also, well, I shouldn't say every single day quite yet because it is December 11th, but it's pretty damn close. It is also the first year that I have kept a book of mirrors and that I have understood what a book of mirrors was and that I had explored more with my book of shadows and what I wanted it to be. And I'm not going to share my book of shadows with you guys today, but I am going to share the other things that I have worked on with my journaling and all of the process. So this is the tarot journal that I created halfway through the year. I had decided that this was a direction that I wanted to go, and it became a creative outlet for me. So what I have done is I draw my tarot cards every week and I write them rather messily, if that even is a word, in my book of mirrors. So this is my book of mirrors. I'll get into that in a bit here. But this is my tarot journal. I've shown you guys this before. I'm actually probably gonna just tape that together because I was going to do something on this page, but I didn't. Initially, this was just going to be a creative outlet for spreads and things like that, and then it kind of just sort of evolved into where I put my daily, it sort of evolved into a chronological thing, basically. So the first bit of it, as you can see, I had like my card of the year, my year ahead spread, and some various stuff that involved tarot. And then it starts to evolve after that. So we've got stuff on the quartz. And then I started to get into doing Ethany's Tarot by the Moon, which I really enjoyed. And then I do spreads for each Sabbat. So I started this in June. And then I was also picking a deck every month to kind of dive a little bit deeper into, just so I could really embrace my decks and look into them a little bit further. So I would do an interview spread, I would write down my thoughts on the deck, and then I would take the spreads from the deck's guidebook and throw them in here and kind of do like a little decorative thing. So this is all from the Moonchild Tarot. And then that's when things started to get chronological. The next month here, I would put my card of the month up, and then you would see that I get into all things chronological. I took the Star Tarot, I did the same thing as I did with the Moonchild. And then I start to do weekly spreads. And I didn't explore too much with changing this up every week because I had a planner that was given to me at the beginning of the year that I had been using. And then I switched to a different system, which is right here, which I'll get into. This might be a long video. And I was recycling it, basically. So, and I'm still planning on recycling the artwork and stuff in that planner that this artwork came from. So that's why these weekly spreads don't change a whole lot in their appearance. But yeah, then I got all chronological. And even that changed, where I started to write reflections each month on what happened, what I thought about it. I really tried to dive deep into what the cards were each day. And the one thing I started to ask myself when it comes to drawing a daily card is for, say, the Empress. When was there a moment in that day where the Empress came out? What was an Empress moment? What was a Four of Swords moment? I think it's because sometimes it's something major and it makes sense, and other times you have to go kind of hunting for your daily draw and where it applies to your day. It's interesting. So yeah, then I kind of started to do this monthly page where I would put my card of the month, and then at the end of the month I would go into how it applied to the month. I'm saying the month a lot. So yeah, and I did each month has something like this where you will see a page dedicated to a deck, and I tried to basically make it look very similar to the aesthetic of the deck. This was one of my favorite pages because I'm an Aquarius sun sign, so I kind of tried to put a little extra love in that. But yeah, so I did my best to try and explore as much as I possibly could, and I really like what I did for the most part. I'm still finishing out this journal, although it only goes all the way through to November, but November doesn't really have much of anything because I broke my wrist at the end of October, and I didn't do any of this last month because I had a cast on my arm. This arm, as you can see, my wrist still looks a little weird, so right in there. So, you know, I'm still recovering. I'm getting there though. This I actually just did the other day. So it's not perfect, and some pages were blank. As you can see, this is the Boho Tarot. This is where I also tried to do, I also save like the artwork that the creator sometimes sends with the deck. But yeah, this one I also did the other day. This is from October. I didn't do much with it either. And, you know, it's not always perfect. It's not always pretty. This one I also did the other day. It's whatever. Because I'm trying to catch up on what I missed. So now we go into what I was going to do around Samhain when I broke my wrist. And then November, nothing. Really. So, this was supposed to be done in November, and I was tempted to do December in the new journal, but I'm honestly taking a month off from doing this type of journaling just to catch up on everything that I had left behind. So that is my tarot journal from June to November, and I did just pick up the one for 2020, which I will jump into now, and then we'll kind of go into the rest of it here. So this is the one I picked out for 2020. I did draw with paint markers on the cover. I got this idea from Don Michelle at Boho Tarot, which super cool idea. I've been having so much fun with it, so thank you, Don Michelle. I took a gold paint marker and I just basically painted the constellations for my zodiac signs, my three main ones. So you have Aquarius, Cancer, and Leo. My little moons here are slightly off center, but it's whatever. So this is my new one, and it is mapped out basically. I love using this method with sticky notes. So I'm gonna just do a cover, creative cover with an evocation, and then your head spread, and then I'm gonna have like a little wheel of the year here with the upcoming sabbats, and then a card of the year, and then January pages. So this is gonna have the monthly card that comes from my year head spread, and then the month reflections, which I fill out here. I wrote a note down there that says don't forget to include a birthday spread because January is my birth month. And then it kind of goes into the weekly spread, and I'll have new and full moon spreads in here as well, and if there is a sabbat on that month, I always do that too. So that's kind of where I will begin 2020 for this journal. So that's the tarot journal. And then I ended up picking this up because I was doing the same thing with the other planner that I had gotten, as I mentioned in my tarot journal, but I really liked the artwork in this, and I know Jessica Starr uses this as well, and she cuts it up and puts it in her bullet journal. So hi Jessica, I loved your idea, just so you know. So I decided to do that with this one too, and I'm going to use the artwork in any of my journals actually. Some of it's going to go in my tarot journal, some of it's going to go in my planner, some of it's going to go in my book of shadows. I'm going to have fun with it. So that's what that's for. Sorry guys, arm is still healing. And then the other things that I utilize this year, as I mentioned, is a book of mirrors. And I didn't fully understand what a book of mirrors was until I decided to really look into it this last year. And it's basically, I looked at it, I think, slightly differently, But a Book of Mirrors is more of a journal of your spiritual thoughts, whereas I started to look at my Book of Shadows as more of a creative expression that is somewhat record keeping, but this is more record keeping. So this is my spiritual brain dump. Like, everything goes in here. Readings, synchronicities, spell work, everything goes in here, and it's all rough draft stuff. And I'm almost done with it, as you can see. And I started this, I think, as well. No, I started this in February. So this is almost taking me a year to fill up. And I'm pretty sure by the time January rolls around, I will be done with it. So I'm going to be moving into this one. And this one was made for me by my good friend Heather. She has a Etsy shop, and I will link it down below. I've been wanting to talk about the work that she does on this channel for quite some time, because she makes some amazing stuff. And she just made this for me. And it's got my sun's sign on it. And it's got this really pretty stuff in the back. I kept the note that she gave me, and it's so beautiful. This is right up my alley. Like, I love anything constellation, as you guys can tell, and anything with like moon phases and stars and stuff like that. So this is going to be my new Book of Mirrors. I cannot talk today. And again, spiritual brain dump. So I've already put in my 2020 year head spread. I did include my card of the year, and this year I drew an oracle card for each month as well. So I'm going to tie those in too. So that's all I've done so far in that. I just really kind of wanted that like on the front page basically as a reference. And once I fill this up, I will be going into another journal. So this is more, my Book of Mirrors is more like a spiritual diary, spiritual brain dump. And it's been, as soon as I switched to that system, I stopped being such a perfectionist about my Book of Shadows. And it became more of a fun thing. And more of a long-term, slow progressing thing. Versus this, where I can just have a place to go to have it be messy. And it won't matter. I put all of my daily draws in here too. Like, this is 1 week right here. And some weeks I don't. Like, actually, as you can see right here, this is when I hurt myself, because that is written with my left hand. So, and I got some not so great cards after I hurt myself. I think I got like the 9 of Swords and a few other things. I was like, oh great. So, it's really, I think it's, what really helped me is just having a place where I can just messy scribble things down. So that's going to be what this is going to be too. It's going to be my spiritual brain dump, my Book of Mirrors. The other thing I have picked up this year is a planner. And this was another thing that actually came recommended to me by my friend Heather when I started to get into more of the bullet journaling, art journaling style. And she told me about this, which is called the Bullet Keeper. And I know I've done a couple videos on this. I have not been consistent about it. I want to start doing monthly videos where I show you guys what I do in this. The other thing I want to mention is the really cute decal that, once again, Heather made me. I get to mention Heather a lot in this video. I'm pretty sure she'll be happy. But she's been my, like, her, Dawn Michelle from Boho Tarot, and Jessica Star of the Story, which have all been my, like, witchy inspiration for bullet journaling. So this I started in June, as you can see, and I know I did a video where I walk through kind of what I did, but things kind of progress as I go through. But the cool part about this journal is that it has a blank template, and then it goes into blank templates for the week. I do like this because if you're getting started with bullet journaling and you kind of just want to use it for planning like this, it can help you get your toes wet, and you can kind of be creative with it and explore. The only thing I don't like about this is that, like, it doesn't give me much to do with the weekly spreads, so I don't have a whole lot of variety there, and I try my best to give myself that variety. But so as you can see, like, I tried to go through and change it up as much as I could and kind of experiment with doodling and various other things like that. I never went through and finished drawing all of the leaves around my September one. I probably will eventually. I might not. I don't know. This one is going to go till May 2020. So some weeks I did doodles, some weeks I didn't do anything. There's blank pages where I couldn't fit anything. I went all out nuts for October because it's my favorite month of the year. And I had a lot of fun experimenting with that. And then I hurt myself, and basically this was as best as I could manage with November. I utilized washi tape, and that was all I could do. So as you can see, like, you can tell that I was trying to do it with either a cast on my arm or something, or my left hand, which actually ended up being slightly worse than the cast on my arm. And then this is this month where I started to get back into drawing and doodling since I have my right hand back. And the doctor actually recommended that I draw because it helps all the little muscles and tendons in your hand. So I've been kind of slowly trying to do this. I have to take breaks because my right hand gets sore, but that is this month, and I've tried to keep this like fun evergreen theme to it. But the other cool part about this journal in the back is that it has just dot grid space. So once it's done, you go through the templates. You can play around with it. So I know I've showed this before, but I'll show it again. I started with, whoops, we're going the wrong way, books to read. And I've highlighted the ones I've done so far, the whole ones I hope to do. Some of these are even on my wish list. I don't even own them. And then I do a symptom tracker every month because I have a lot of health issues. These are the moons for 2019. I'm like, what year is it? These are the goals for 2019. YouTube stuff, cleaning stuff. These are actually really cool spreads. And then I decided to do a When Did I Last spiritual edition to remind me to check in with myself for all the things that I tend to neglect spiritually as well. And then these are more of the same. Once I fill that out, I've been kind of slacking on like recording all that. This page is going to be project ideas, future log, because there are so many events, birthdays, appointments, all that stuff that comes up in the future, and I needed a space to put it all. So yeah, this goes through June and July, although this journal will end in May. So I have a place to put that stuff. And then I started to do these monthly pages in July, and I know I've shared this before as well. I think that there's a video I did on the 4th of July where I share this, but I found this on Pinterest, and it's basically like a monthly magic page. So it's basically one page dedicated to where you want to focus your spiritual practice. And I really thought that was awesome. So this part is all by moon phase, what the things you want to get done by moon phase, and then intentions can be put up here, and intentions you may want to focus on, and then daily practice ideas, spiritual goals, divination, and Sabbat and Esbat plans here. And then I've been doing monthly wrap-ups. See, some of this I didn't fill out. It's, you know, you gotta roll with it. And then this is another symptom tracker. August kind of didn't really, you know, record a whole lot, and in September I didn't track any of my symptoms, and I should have, but I just didn't do it. So it's not perfect. And then I started to do, I really liked how this page turned out. It's super cute. This is October goals. I did for September. I started to do just kind of a more simplistic review page where I do like I struggled with, I loved, I need to remember. So I think I'm probably going to keep that type. I've already done it for October and December as well, not November, because you'll see there's no pages filled out for November. Symptoms, more symptoms. If you're chronically ill like me, this is a really good idea. See, October review, nothing, because I broke my wrist. And then November, nothing happens here. And then I decided to start doing a December like monthly to-do list. So this is all just like important dates, projects I want to work on, and various other things like that, because I need a space that isn't in my head for this kind of stuff. So this is going to be a monthly page that I'm going to add as well. December goals, December symptoms. I Can't Turn the Page, and then the December Magic page and December Review. So, as I said, this journal will go till May 2020. I have mapped out the 2020 goals. This is the future projects that I want to work on and get done for the year in 2020. 2020 moons, which will be put here. And then we go into January pages. So, these are kind of all the journals and notebooks I will be working with for paper planning and all that spiritual stuff. Paper planning, tarot, and spiritual stuff. So, I do use a few other journals personally. I have a personal kind of diary where I just dump all my thoughts into. I do keep a shadow journal, which I have showed you guys before. For shadow work, I have a book of shadows which I work on as well, and then I keep a dream journal and I keep a mental health journal, which basically is all stuff that pertains to notes from therapy and things like that. So that one's really a little more personal, and I probably won't be showing it on here at all, but yeah, so journaling is just a really, really big part of my practice. It's a really big part of my personality. I can be kind of an introspective being, and I just need to be able to physically write stuff down, to remember it, to process it. It just is something that helps me so, so much. And as soon as I started to branch out more with this and expand it, it enriched my life even more. Working with a paper planner, working with doing a place to bring my spiritual thoughts and just dump it all messily into a journal was huge for me, and having a creative outlet that tied to something I'm very deeply passionate about, which is tarot and divination. So yeah, basically I just kind of wanted to show you guys everything I did in 2019 for my journaling process and what I plan to do as I move into the next year. And if you guys want to see more progression videos on, for say, I want to add more of my Book of Shadows when I start to do that. I would love to start doing monthly planning videos if you guys are interested in that. I know I had kind of started it and then didn't quite pick it up because life got a little messy, but I'd like to start doing it again. And then the other thing that I would like to start doing is showing you guys the monthly tarot stuff too, if you're curious. So I can do a monthly video where I kind of share the tarot journal and the planner and kind of everything I've done in that as well. If you guys want to see that, just let me know, put a comment down below, and I will make sure to remember all the links that I spoke of in this video, the channels mentioned, and Heather's Etsy shop and everything. That was a lot of talking. Alright guys, blessed be. I'll see you in my next video.